Hello guys, welcome back to my page. I hope you guys are doing great. So as I said in my previous video that my main concern was programming, I thought of this because I feel like this is something that could really be helpful in our daily lives, so in solving complex problems. For those of you guys who are working in companies or just anywhere, I mean it could really be helpful because it'll help you in finding solutions to your problems, or how can I put it, like in terms of decision making. Think of a situation whereby you're supposed to make a decision for the company in a very short period of time. So I think this could really be helpful. Like, it'll help you think real quick, so don't even worry about anything. I got your back. Yeah, so let's start with algorithm. Algorithm is just some mathematical term. Mathematics, my favorite subject of all time. Well, thanks to Mr. Mwenga, or Mr. Obi as we would call him. Yeah, he's really a great mathematician. He's one of the people who really made me to be where I am today. Yeah, I really appreciate. So back to algorithms. Algorithm is just a mathematical term referring to calculations or problem-solving operations. So we can just define it as a set of instructions or rules that step by step define how a problem is worked upon to get expected results. Let's move on to flowcharts. In algorithms, we have flowcharts. These flowcharts are used to simplify codes, or they're just used to, they're used for human understanding. Let's say you're writing a code that's, sometimes like they can really get complicated, and we as human beings, we can't really understand. Only machines like computers can really understand. So for us human beings to understand what really a code is all about, so we use flowcharts just to simplify the work. So about flowcharts, we're going to start, each shape has a different meaning. So let's start with the oval-like shape, which represents start or end. In programming, you need to declare that you've started from somewhere and you're ending somewhere. Just, for the code to run well without errors. Because sometimes, I can tell you from experience, like, programming can be so hectic at times. Like, I'm not scaring anyone, but this is just some truth. It can be hectic at times, but you feel like, okay, I've really done something. You even feel yourself like, okay, I've written this program, only to find errors, like your program is not working. You have headaches all because of such things. So I think whenever you're writing a code, you need to declare that you've started from somewhere and ended somewhere, just to make your work easier. Then we have the arrows, which represent relationships between representative shapes. Then we have the paragram, which represents input and output. Then we have the rectangle, which represents the process. And I can call the process the main function of the code, because this is why you declare everything. Whatever results you want at the end of the code, you need to specify. You need to clearly state them in the process. So the rectangle just a symbol showing that that's why everything takes place. Then we have this shape. I don't really know the name of it, or maybe I can't remember. Yeah, so this shape just represents decision. Like, whatever thing you've done in the rectangle or the process, whatever thing you've declared in the process, you make decisions according to. This is the shape that represents the decisions you make according to whatever code you've written in the process. Then let's move to the operators. These operators are just normal mathematical operators. We all know the plus symbol, the minus symbol, the division symbol, the multiplication symbol. But we have the mod, which is a bit of a different case in this situation. Okay, let's just go through the operators, like the meaning of each operator. We have the plus sign, which we all know it's addition. The minus sign, subtraction, of course. We have the multiplication sign, it's just multiplication. We have the division sign, the normal division sign. So in mathematics, I mean, we use the division side for any numbers, for dividing any numbers. But in programming, it's a different case. We use the division symbol to divide numbers that are divisible. Not that, divisible numbers only. So like let's say we have an example of 28 divided by 7. These two numbers, we know that they don't have any remainder, so we can use the normal division symbol. But talk of numbers like 30 divided by 7, we know that these two numbers, like when you divide these two numbers, we have remainders, so we use the mod sign. Not division, but mod sign. The mod sign is specifically used for dividing numbers that have remainders. Then we have the 2 plus signs, which represent the increment. In this case, we can say, let's say you're asked to write a program that includes all numbers that are equal, less or equal to 20. Less or equal to 20. Any positive integers that are less or equal to 20, starting from 0. So I can, like in terms of a code, we can just say, maybe we declare our integer as a, which is equals to 0. This 0 is the first value of our series. Like whatever program we want, we have to declare the first value of that program. So in this case, let's give an example of, as I've already said, numbers that are less or equal to 20. No, let me just say numbers that are less than 20. So I'm going to declare my integer a. You can just say a, b, c, d, anything. It doesn't matter, as long as you specify that that's an integer. Because so you need to specify that that's an integer. Let's say int a is equals to 0, because 0 is our first value of the numbers we want. Int a is equals to 0. Then we say, in this case, we need to give conditions. In programming or algorithms or anything, you need to give a condition. Yeah, so like in our case, we just want numbers that are less or equal to 20, not anything more than 20, not anything below 0. So we're going to say, for int a, which is equal to 0, semicolon, int a is less than 20, semicolon, then int a plus plus. So the plus plus is the one that shows the increment. So this a is going to be adding by 1 on every step that's taken. It has to add by 1. So since we've declared that our a is 0, this 0 is going to be adding by 1 on every step. It reaches 19, because 19 is the largest integer that's less than 20. Yeah, so that's just the case. But let's say we say, since we've said if, so our result, the numbers went out from 0 to 19, but else, it could be anything. Maybe else we say, if the numbers are not within that, they're not within that range, so we can just say else result is equals to b minus a, because the previous one was actually, the result was a minus b. So the next one, if it's not a minus b, of course it's going to be the opposite of the other one, which is going to be b minus a. Then we just say result, like print result, then you end. So we were talking about a case where we use the increment or the decrement sign. Then let's get to, before we get to programming, we have this thing we call pseudocode. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but yeah, that's how I pronounce it, and well, that's how I learned it. Yeah, the pseudocode. This pseudocode is just it's not really a formal code. It's actually informal code. It's an informal code just meant for human understanding, not machine understanding, but human understanding. Yeah, so let's get to computer programming. What's really this thing everyone is talking about, or what this thing people sometimes cares, because there are people will be telling this programming thing is really difficult, but it's not as hard as it seems. Yeah, so we're just going to define it, then maybe we can just wind up for today. So computer programming is just the process of designing and building an executable computer program for accomplishing a specific computer result. Yeah, so today I just thought of just going through the introduction, and you guys can just drop the questions. If you have any questions for me, you can just drop them in the comment section. And if you feel like there's just some things missing or some things I need to add to, you can just tell me in the comment section. I'm ready for anything, whether positive or negative criticism. Yeah, so you guys can just give me your feedback. This being my first video, I know it's not that good, but you can just drop those comments or surely give a response.